Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Virgo August 20th, 2022. Decision-making is relatively free-flowing today, and you could find others turn to you for advice. You have more to share than usual. You might return to a past problem with new information, helping round things out. You might also pick up some good ideas. Building relationships, bonding with others, and connecting with your own deeper needs and desires can figure strongly. However, this is a mostly mental day, and much of this process is objective. A good balance between alone time and moments of sharing would be ideal and quite achievable now. With the moon glimmering through Sirius Gemini, and your intimate 8th house of mergers, shared resources, and soulmate connections, you're likely focused on emotional themes surrounding the foundation of your connection, or perhaps the assets you share with a significant other. Your celestial ruler, Mercury, is still retrograde in your sign, so it's important to be discerning with your exchanges. Double and triple check contracts, unless you can avoid them entirely. More importantly, the moon will face off with Venus, via your 11th house of associations, community affairs, and individual freedom, creating tension between your prior commitments versus the desire to explore other opportunities. How do you value your professional transformation and everything that will go into it? Today, the Sun in Leo trines Pluto retrograde in Gemini, implying that you may have to work through any unconscious fears rising to the surface that target your investments, assets, and even debt. As you work towards stabilizing your subconscious perception of your finances, you may feel more hopeful since Mercury retrograde in your sign also sextiles Jupiter in Aries. By embracing a better outlook on what you have and can invest in, you may become more hopeful when you go after your professional dreams. The moon has managed to time its monthly visit to your financial sector to take advantage of the sun's last full day in an intuitive and imaginative part of your chart. As well as helping to fuel your financial confidence, instincts and imagination, this is putting the sun and moon back in harmony at a time when both sides of the financial fence are undergoing change. It will be hard interacting with people today. You overreact to the smallest things and feel completely misunderstood. It would do you good to take a step back, clear your thoughts and start tackling the arguments in a calmer way. You don't always notice the small stuff in your effort to keep moving along with the big picture, but today you are totally in touch with the details of your life. Find a way to make them sweeter. If the response you get from prospective dates is not always positive, consider how your approach might be improved. You may want to ask what you could change about yourself. Becoming more self-aware can help you understand what to change or at least help you appreciate another's point of view or not. Today's aspect gives you a chance to express your playfulness with others. Enjoy this transit by increasing the amount of exercise you do. Remember that increased energy comes from increased exercise. This transit can also have long-lasting effects on your close relationships. Show people the warm and playful side of yourself, show your affection and open up to receiving affection from others. Drink plenty of water to keep you present and able to feel your fullest. It's a day and the essence of this will greatly encourage you to move on and start something new. Perhaps you have been thinking of a better career, some further education, or something different in the home. Whatever the case, you can bet that this vibration will bring the innovation and creativity you need to get the ball rolling. Have some fun with this by putting your mind to the task of coming up with ways to improve the quality of your life. Our eyes in the sky. We're all likely to wake up feeling intuitively sharper and maybe even more creative than usual. But there could be a heavy emotional shift when the moon conjoins Pluto, and we'll have to take care not to overreact to any overpowering feelings. The psychic embellishments from earlier will remain very prominent, but you'll have to be cautious not to let them affect you too much. Avoid having arguments centered around any jealousy you may feel. It could make someone feel unjustly guilty or intimidated. Also be very aware of any negative self-talk, because it could also lead to desperate actions you later come to regret. There could be power struggles or issues with others who want to dominate us. If you feel like someone is pushing you to make a decision you aren't ready to make, take a step back and reassert your boundaries. You don't have to rush through your emotions to satisfy someone else's whims. Any negative energy that's been hovering around you could hit twice as hard when the moon sextiles Neptune tonight. The energy could affect your sleep and make you feel exhausted. In the morning, the moon squares Chiron in Aries, forcing us to confront repressed anxieties. We are emotionally stoic under the Gemini moon, preferring to avoid conflict by busying ourselves with duties and responsibilities. There's a battle waging here between our inner elder and our inner child. We may be attempting to emulate the style of an older person in our youth who dismissed our creativity. And now, we are acting as the same gatekeeper for our wounded psyche. The best way to navigate these energies is to begin talking to ourselves in a new way, thereby acting as our protector instead of our worst critic. Following this, the Leo Sun trines Pluto in Gemini, helping us to tap our magic and personify self-esteem. By firmly standing our ground and advocating for our principles, we become authority figures in our own right. Subsequently, others treat us differently, affirming that we have all that we need within ourselves to embrace our agency. Relationships with superiors, bosses, and those in institutions should be farewell at this time. People in positions of power acknowledge our tenacity and dedication to excellence, helping us to rise further on the hierarchical totem pole. The cosmic weather is quiet today until afternoon, when the moon opposes Mercury in Virgo, provoking irrational thought. We are especially sensitive as the moon transits Pisces. Certain ideas make sense to us on a conceptual level that we have trouble expressing logically. But that won't stop us from trying. The problem is that when we attempt to communicate our sentiments, we polarize our feeling state and our intellect. This can lead to unease, confusion, or analysis paralysis, as we mix up facts and potential fiction. Our interactions with others get scrambled. We become frustrated that our conversation partner doesn't get what we're trying to say. We will be much better off processing our thoughts through a creative medium now. By sharing our feelings through music or writing, our ideas remain open to interpretation. Others can then connect with us emotionally by bearing witness instead of sharing a reciprocal dialogue. In the evening, the moon sextiles Uranus in Taurus, stimulating surprises. Too much weight today has been placed on trying to rationalize our circumstances. At this time, something happens to shock us out of this expectation. We realize that we have been taking things too seriously, that life is baffling, and that we should enjoy the ride. Our intuition and instincts harmonize. We come to sudden realizations that reshape how we relate with others. We could also learn new information, receive unexpected news, or experience a synchronicity that bears special significance. The stress of the day rolls off our backs as we throw up our hands and submit to the universe's grand plan.